Hi, give me a sec, okay? I am lighting a candle. Okay. Alrighty. Interesting. This world is interesting. So, I don't know what you're seeing over there. My snacks and, I'm just putting some things away. Give me a second. Okay. So good. Early evening at 6:37 p.m. Welcome back to the best of the best practitioners of light and love who, they might not necessarily identify with, being practitioners, but it's basically living from the heart chakra, best intentions in mind. And for the highest good. As well defined. And so, this is inclusive of, I would say, exclusive to the most ethical divine energies. Because we just had great, what do you want to say? We had a great outpour yesterday with our reading, and I would like to keep that consistent. I mean, it was a huge difference. So I felt like even the divination in explaining my thoughts and just running through them in a free form fashion was so much more. Eloquent is such a fancy word. But it was very accurately put, the most accurately put within verbal form. And I really appreciate that. So I want to keep that going, whether that be here or off this clock. Yeah, I'd like to keep that going. So angels of light and love, I welcome you in. I looked up Lord Shiva, and goodness, definitely a triple threat. When it comes to just, I wouldn't say threatening. I would say more of the energies of something that is so powerful because that it might be allotted to intimidating for some. And I really, I felt really blessed with that, for us to be blessed with Lord Shiva's presence in yesterday's reading. So today I'm going to go with a vice versa tarot. And just to give you a little update, I started a new job a couple weeks ago, and this being the end of the second week, I was just informed, I'd say about an hour ago, of there was no comment other than the role has been put on pause for reevaluation. And it just feels like such an HR technical term, at surface level, from what I've experienced in the past, that it's just they're keeping things light and simple with letting me go. Because there was no positive response on my delivery. And I know I always delivered, not just my best, but in the company's best interest. So I have the best rep in town that is such a great coach, even without prompting. I mean, just I really appreciate that. So I'm trying to follow the angels of light and love. I welcome you in. Draw you in to direct and protect these messages, my chakras, my auras, my space, my work, and that of our children's. Okay, so calling upon the same energies. I it just tells me something was off key. Being that I didn't get to finish out the week, the very last day of the week, just tomorrow. So, but I'm just trying to follow the direction, the advice of just moving forward and not kicking myself for it, not finding any reasons and imagining all these reasons why it could be, like not entertaining the fears and ill feelings, any possible sources of what may have conjured that up, whether that be through external intent or I don't know. I mean, bottom line, I draw upon Jesus Christ's energy, because it just like it's the absolute truth. And I did a pre-read, and it, at first glance, it looked highly negative, but then there were some positive cards at the very end of it. And I think with one door closing, another door opens. And my whole, learning experience is to be all in with what I signed up for, which is continual change. So I'm excited for whatever that means. I mean, just entertaining the idea of it is like a get well card from the divine. You know what I mean? So the most wonderful things is the people that I got to meet and got to just like get to know at random. And there are such wonderful people out there, such gifted individuals. And it was funny because no more than like 30 minutes before I had to leave, to clock out, I had a conversation with one of the employees there, and he said, well, this is the best place that I've ever been, and because I listened some factual things, like because Spirit told me like I should not be afraid of speaking my mind, and I could temper it, which I kind of did, but I for the bottom line, I should wing it. Then I should have full trust in divining through my observations and insights, just like as a summary, like just like condensed form. And so that's how I delivered it. I mean, I told them that I like the people, and this is definitely, I agree that this is the best place I've been. So that could only prove true to just something better coming along. And I did 2 pre-reads. Like, that's how I wasn't upset in a way that I was angered. I was more like confused. Like someone stood me up that so with all these questions in mind, I have to allow for the polarity of the spirit of adventure rather than the curiosities that worry can bring, whether that be associated with the employer or the macrocosm. Like, what is it? What's there for me next? And so at first I was just very, very confused. And then my insecurities seeped in. And I took a break, And then I realized, I signed up for this. That there's always going to be change. And so but I got sad. Then the second, feeling was sadness, because I know I didn't feel anger. I was just so confused. It's like somebody, like, all of a sudden just dumps you out of nowhere. And, some people have experienced that in such a severe fashion that it becomes unforgettable. I'm not going to say unshakable, but definitely unforgettable. And so I guess I'd like to take this moment to associate it with something good. And so, that's where I'm going with this. That it was another step in the ladder without having to really take on the concept of ladder climbing. Like, that was my MO. And so I appreciate how I conducted myself, how my supreme mentors helped me engage in this, like, mediating within this new phase of life, like mediating internally, and even mediating the workflow. Like, I tried to be as independent as possible so as not to just be told what to do. And I felt like I accomplished that today, knowing the patterns of what I was taught before in the prior weeks, because this one was untraditional in its format. So let's go with the vice versa tarot. I'm not certain on what type of question I'd like to ask, but I'd like to know what's next up for me, what the divine has to offer me with their insights. I would like to know, like, what their input is on all of this right now. Because you can tell, like, I'm still confused. Except for the fact that I know that there's cycles to everything. And I guess I just didn't anticipate it to end so soon. Or, like, the cycle to be completed so soon. And I don't even know if it's complete. Because they use the word pause to reassess and reevaluate the position. So while being there, for at least, for the couple of weeks, I could totally understand where they're going with that. So, there's a whole lot of truth in that, because I know that I'm capable of more. And I definitely tempered myself within each situation to make the best of it. And so I guess I don't have any questions towards that. Like, to automatically jump into the Five of Pentacles general lack mindset is just like, whoa, it's a downward spiral. Like, woo. Like, is there a bottom, or am I just free falling at this point? I think the scariest part was just looking at the bottom line. Like, okay, now I have to figure out the whole realm of finances again. I thought I had something steady, because the baseline is all you had to really do is just show up. And and that was the main thing, just to show up. And so, like, looking at that baseline, I did. And so let's just kind of like move forward. And I realized that the path for all of us is not like a straight beeline kind of thing. It's quite jagged. There's some loops in there. It's kind of like a little roller coaster. But like the most wonderful thing are the people, like the little storylines behind each of them. And one of them, I had like really good, there were good conversations. Like I haven't had a decent, like authentic, genuine conversation with someone in a long time that wasn't, directly blood. And so with one of them, I learned, like, oh my gosh, there were so many things that had, that hit them hard, like all at once, and they made it through. And it wasn't just a generalization. Like they spoke with, it wasn't like spoke with vigor. It was just like this easygoing calm. I was like, well, I just got through it. And, some things happen and, you just get through it. So, oh, hey there. You always come on at the most like turbulent times with me. How are you doing today? Good evening. Fellow neighbor. Somewhat. So I'm going to go ahead and like see what my cards have in store for me. And maybe you vibe with it. I mean, I'm totally, like, the law of attraction is like full on blast. Like PDA, like the mega horn style. That's how it's been. You've been well? That's good. Anything new this holiday weekend? Is that a glue stick in your hand? Oh, you know what? It might as well be a glue stick. Oh my gosh, I should look for one. That's lovely. Yeah. That would totally change the vibe for me right now. Yeah. One thing it's a crystal. I know. Channel the spirit sister. Amen. You're really good at what you do. Okay. So, what is it? What is it, Spirit? Please tell me. It's the Page of Wands again. This is how I received it in the pre-read too. It's starting something new, and it's safe. It's like it's not like it is Phoenix energy coming at me. A shooting star, but it's a comet rising from the ashes and like going toe to toe with that, like revealing itself as an identity from the divine in which we draw upon. That's interesting. That's interesting that I received it exactly like this. This is being in touch with the greater expanse of the collective. This is not just the collective, the earthly collective that most define it as, that most associate it as. But looking at the other side of the frontal view, it's clear in broad daylight, but it looks like barren lands here. So we received it like this. And so it only leads me to believe that it's part of that greater collective. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I picked up a bad habit again. It made itself resurface. But as I rationalized with previous coworkers, that it was the least of all evils that I was dealing with. So sometimes you do like unhealthy things. You make unhealthy choices because it's like your only vice, in order to prevent you from doing really stupid things. And it's not because you're bored, it's because sometimes your darkness kind of hauls over just like a black cloud. Like how Linus walks and kicks up all the dust, but it's just like it's this thing that's just lingering over you. And so I don't know, I just kind of felt that in the past couple of weeks that there were so many questions that that's you. That it's just lingering over you. And so you can't deny it. You cannot doubt it. It is there. And it's filled with this haziness, like this border between you and the true skies. And so, it's not even... Oh, hold on, give me a second. It's not even like a glass ceiling. It's more like you can't even see through it. It's not transparent. Like, it's not even like a flattened out fishbowl. It's not... You don't have that advantage of seeing what's beyond when you look to the skies. So there's just this heaviness of unanswered questions, and nobody will talk, but you can see it in their eyes. And I guess I felt the reassurance of that. And it didn't forebode my ending. I didn't feel that. But I got the death card twice at the bottom of the deck in both divinations, pre-reads. And that's always going to, especially having it double time, it's consecutive, it's heralding of something like the closed door, and like a transformation. It's leading to a transformation, something new. So that was reassurance as well from the divine that things are going to be okay. Then I started channeling all of these songs that came through, these messages that were so good. They're so good. Cementing the last few cards of positivity in the last one. And it wasn't like toxic positivity, like, oh, things are going to get better. It wasn't generalized. It was very intimate, especially with the music that came through. And in fact, I was trying to, I actually picked up a second bad habit. I don't even want to call that a bad habit. The second one wasn't really a bad habit. It was more like, I got to tap into another set of collective to see like what they had, like what their thoughts were on something. And with where I sat at that moment, trying to get like a second point of view, just kind of a renewal of perspective. I just got a little lost right there. I don't know. I was channeling in this other, I don't know. It was just, it jumped out of this reading that I went to, about their intentions. And it told me after cycling through that I wasn't supposed to know just yet. I'm not supposed to force knowing what's next. Just let it be and let it go. And then all of a sudden it jumped to like the series of like this playlist. And that's the only thing that would come through. And so, like I know that maybe for some, not all of my readings are 100% accurate, but they are something to learn from, and they're revisitations of where people have been. But I know that in revisiting places that I've been, it speaks of also a threaded communications of like where I'm at now. So, I'm not to get too concerned in all of that, like the accuracy, the pinpointing, the absolute knowing, because that kind of just dumbs down my energy or anybody's energy. And so let's okay. We've got the Phoenix energy. Start her up. What is it? I don't know. I don't play sports. So start her up. Is that what they call it? We got the Phoenix energy. That's so good. I mean, you being here is, I don't know if that speaks the same for you, but I would gauge the same for you. Batter up. Yeah, but like there's a starter. Oh, there's a certain lingo that's used. Anyway, the Phoenix wings are always open arms. I'm just realizing that you never see them like as a resting like butterfly, that they're always in flight, always like open arms. In a matter of embracing the winds to catch it, to keep it sustained midair. And so I think there's definitely something to learn from that, because when you're on fire, the only thing to build upon that is not letting the wind knock you down. I'm just kind of capturing that and going with it, like using that force. It's just kind of scary, because in a month's time, a little over a month's time, I'm going to have to face a lawyer again that's quite brutal, but very strategic in assisting like the bad guy, I'm healed by music. Yeah, me too, definitely. Do you have a song that does something? That does some healing for you in hard times? What is it? It was part of that playlist. Things that I've mentioned before. It was weird. And I like that I'm naturally weird. I like how life has shifted to reflect that, but I never associated weird with so much change. So there was Three Birds by Bob Marley. And then there's Smile by Nat King Cole. And those are the two prominent ones that I do remember. And there was also Superman by Santa Gold. But I didn't associate... those are the three that I recall. But those two, first mentioned, were ones that helped me gain traction again, just to get me back on track again. So it's just, but I had to let the tears out. So
King of Cups. I mean, not King of Cups. Knight of Cups in reverse. Facing. Okay. So, is this undercover energy? Like or is it that there's like there's a loss of romanticism in life, like chivalry, like the idea of a Superman, you know? Or, you know, just like a heroic figure. I don't know. Like, I'm not even, like, feeling that. So it's got to be undercover energy. Yeah, especially facing us. Anchor yourself, woman. You're clearly meant to move in different circles than what you're forced into now. Yeah, you're funny. You're very precise within your delivery of emotion. Definitely, yeah. So, okay. So I'm just kind of entertaining the possible meanings behind this. So, because there's a lot of question in it. I'm bad at this. What do you mean? You said something that was very, not just thoughtful, like in a card. It had your own personal signature. Your timing is very like Robin Williams in execution. Definitely. I'm a guy and want to fix shit, so I can't be too empathetic. No, I'd say you're empathetic, but like it's you put a twist in it. Yeah. Yes, you are quite twisted in a divine form. It's alchemy, for sure. Okay, those two. So the Hermit card in reverse, 5 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Pentacles in reverse, and 6 of Wands. So before I shuffled, I noticed that the 5 of Pentacles was at the top of the deck, but I just didn't want to see it. I didn't want to freaking see it. But it saw me. And it's like, I know you saw me, Tina. I know you saw me. You can't ignore me. That's hilarious. Frickin' hilarious. Robin Williams is such a great person. Oh my God, I just watched Good Will Hunting. Oh, that's crazy. How was Good Will Hunting? Like, for me, when I revisit nostalgia of like just certain classics, from what I recollect, when I see them again, it's not always to what there's just like shifting perspectives. So I know that Matt Damon is very much of like an intellectual figure, like very intense, serious, and so I don't recall the vibe of it, but I know that it has a meaningful presence, and that's what creates the classic. But the dynamism, the interactions, I don't recall how that was executed, you know, the tone of it. So anyway, this is enlightenment. This is coming out of like the dark night of the soul, obviously. But this is like the light at the end of the tunnel. It is. Definitely. It's about feelings versus thoughts. Well, I shall have to revisit that. What motioned you towards, you know, watching it again? So we have that. This is releasing the conflict, most definitely. Conflicted thoughts as well. Maybe this is an area of dissection too, because if you're looking at the 5 of Pentacles, it's like it's the Great Divide. It's the Great Divide of the 10 of Pentacles. I'm gonna go deal with my tentacles. Be well. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Five of Pentacles. So Five of Pentacles. So, it's still playing the game, rolling the dice, for sure. Like, the feet, the legs are wrapped, okay? So it's like, there's almost like injury within the path. So this is not like, this is just a resting point. That's all it is. It's a resting point, which, there's ultimate victory in the background. The victory is what's on the inside, and like shining outwards is what I'm told. Like, that's the light. Yeah, somebody plays polo here or something, because look, that cane looks like, the mallet for polo. This could also mean the act of, like, judicious states, that when you feel like you're at a lacking, it's just like what's on the surface is that's just what it looks like, okay? And not everything is what it appears to be, because this reminds me of the same mallet in the Masonic Tarot. So it's like a huge gavel. Excuse me. Now that's the power that we hold right now. The discernment, the fine art of discernment, especially when in injury. So this is kind of like in recovery mode, but still playing the game, still rolling the dice. Definitely. So this is not like frowning upon our situation. Yeah, because there's still sustenance in that. So yeah, what I was trying to say was that in the court stuff, it's like I'm just trying to do like, 12-point inspection, like the checklist of what makes me valid again. And to revisit that is like, yuck, right? And so I'm not into that. I'm not into it. I won't get myself into that again. Yeah, it was just like one less thing to worry about. But like, why does this have to be an element to worry about? Why can't I just move forward and on? Why am I going to let that speak, how do I say it? Speak words into my destiny, like so. So, it's kind of like being kind of kicked out or casted out. But this is like the divine stage of being casted for something else. And again, we're talking about the casts right here on the feet. Like, the path has been unkind to our movements. But we recover. It's kind of like Wolverine style. This is good. This is good. Especially with victory right behind it. Like, come on. There's two very light and shining armor type of cards from front to back. And it's coming out of the darkness. It's not just light, amplified by other light, greater light. So this is very much under the surface energy, the Knight of Cups. It's a romanticism that you build, like the crescendo. It's building upon that. So something is like wonderful is about to happen, and this is just one of the increments that lead up to that point. Okay. Oh yeah, the Ace of Pentacles right there. And what cut it through was the Three of Swords in reverse. So this isn't actually heartbreak. Don't receive it like that. When somebody's resuscitating you, are you going to be like, are you trying to like cop a feel, or are you bringing me back to life? So the Ace of Pentacles is straight up given to me. You see? This is at the point of the labyrinth. You don't even have to reach the center point. It's given to us almost premeditated, almost like before we reach that center point. It's like we've already made it. We made it through. Just the fact of make realization of seeing that center point is that overwhelming feeling like we made it. We made it like through this labyrinth, through that inner circle. We made it. We made it happen. We manifested that. You know how wonderful that is? It's that overwhelming relief of that sight. And so we're rewarded that before we actually get there. Interesting. Okay. Especially with what it opened up to. I mean, what led to that, the Three of Pentacles in reverse. That's wonderful. I like it. I love this. Okay, give me a second. I have to put this down here so I can lay these cards out kind of flat. But this is wonderful. What a redefining moment. Okay. So, oh gosh, we have the Star card and we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Like, they're saying basically don't sweat it. Like, don't have your guard up on this one because you're the Star. Plain and simple, Tina. You're the Star. Like, forward facing. You no longer like are acknowledged as such, but you are. And so much so that you can face people with that energy. You're no longer keeping it hidden. You don't, like, I don't tell people what I do on, in the other parts of my life when it comes to this. I like to let things, like, naturally unfold rather than saying, I do this. Like in face-to-face life. So, but now it's telling me, like, people see me, see that energy in me, that I'm in the workings of it. There's something very visible about this. The Star is ready to show. So something about breaching. Yeah. Because you have to let your guard down. You have to, when you're doing like Lamaze class, when you're giving birth to something, you have to relax. Like, with as much as like those cramps feel, like the, what do you call it? The, those pangs come through. Like, you have to relax. Even though it feels like somebody's like kicking your ass. Like, the best way to receive it is in a relaxed form. What? There's something about that. Like, not receive. The best way to go through something that it's like, I don't know, something is pushing its way through. And like another life. Oh, that's wonderful. That's so wonderful. Congratulations to us. You know, that person that I last spoke with, he started his official day at the beginning of this week. Like that, or I think that's what it was. Like, but he just got signed on for that this week. And that was so wonderful. And my response wasn't like, oh, like, must be nice. It was more like, I just told him congratulations. I don't know if anybody said that to him, but definitely, like, I could see a good sense of relief with him. And that's great because previously I could see that he was working hard and he was stressed and very like intense and serious within his mode. But then I got to like know him and draw upon certain conclusions that I was able to share with him. He was open to that. And it's very rare to have like conversations on a fly that are, that are just beautiful. And they just come naturally. Like, you can do something on a fly. Like, you can be trained to throw pitches on a fly. Sales pitches, like, or even pitches, So it's like kind of canned with the knowing. But with this, it's like free flying. It's not knowing. It's just going with it. And so the dynamic was very cool. So maybe that just gives me a flavor for what's coming ahead, because from experience, that's just how life has been rolling. So I appreciate that, like, input, that insight, that precursor, that preview, the pilot to what's coming next, because that energy is ongoing. Like, I'm sold. The pilots are meant to sell you on their ability to fly with the audience, with self, like the most prime character. The actors can be like so good, but you get their best once you get their buy-in on the storyline, not just the people behind the scenes, but it's quite wonderful to see people invested in more than just like the clock in, clock out concept of the paycheck, that this is what they studied for, even, or I get to be with this actor or that actor, and or finally landed something. But this is great, some work. This is quite different. Interesting. Okay, so wonderful, positive things there. I'm speaking of the best of my moments there, and it just feels like just so much energy. All right. Anything else, Spirit? So that vibe that I picked up from certain energies there were very much congruent, and they all had different personalities, and that was so like spiritually mind-blowing for me, and that I wasn't catering to that. I was just kind of I was conversing with that energy. So a part of me also understood it on a level of my own experiences. So it was nice. It was good. And so what I've been trying to say, bottom line, is that that energy is undying, is ongoing. So like, I don't fear never seeing these people again. I don't have any qualms to, I don't know. I just, it's good. Yeah, that was a good change up to my atmosphere. Anything else, Spirit, that you want to convey to me? Jesus Christ, of course. Okay, so that flipped its way. Oh, it's the Ace of Cups facing the King or Queen of Pentacles? Queen of Pentacles in reverse, okay? Okay, so it showed it like that. It's showing that, like, they're saying, Tina, even at a standstill, and even with your back turned, you are a beautiful statue. You're standing in the cup, and right behind it was the Magician. So it's like the interaction. It's knowing that I hold such great power here. So when I invest in the positive form, like that value, as an asset, added value, that's what it's saying. It's added value because it's facing the Magician. There's interaction there. There's a dialogue. There's understanding in that. It's a comprehension. Oh, I just saw somebody on a horse facing the Holy Grail. Like, holy shit, it's the Holy Grail. Because her ass is showing. Holy shit, it's the Holy Grail. Now with the Queen of Wands in reverse, that's a highly it's a highly positive card. I mean, it's the best mother of all queens, as we always say. But this is a redefining moment. And it's in Hangman point of view. So what makes you a great mother, Tina? What makes you so abundant within your atmosphere? Even when the blood is rushing to your head, to your face, you know? Because it looks like a pillar is knocked down, but it's a reminder, like finders keepers, about these experiences. Like we hold them in pocket, subconsciously, in its most divine value. We hold that close to us, like as a reminder. Okay, it got knocked down, but that's like the tree stump right there, like of the giving tree, of where we started and like how we came through. Gosh, this is spicy good. So, I'm curious to see what's behind the Queen of Wands in reverse. What is she facing? Oh, the Queen of Cups, also back turned, but facing, like upright. Oh, we have the stork right by there. I think the stork is about birth. I forget. Well, we have the stork spirit totem here. It's been a long time since I revisited that, but 2 queens here, and it's the cookie and cup. That's interesting. I want to see what the Queen of Cups is facing. Oh, the 10 of Swords, of course. So, like, being strewn in tears, we have our private moments, our sacred moments of the human experience. And sometimes, like, we cry about the loss of money and how, like, stability, how that equates to stability, and how that automatically equates to our worthiness, our credibility. And it's like, no, we just had life experience. And you know what? This is so positive that it's facing forward, because it's a man out of that armor, and that we're killing the armor. So we're done with that. It's a total eclipse of the heart and all other chakras. It's an unbreakable how do I say it? It's a breaking out of that shell. Interesting. We had that yesterday too. Dude, I got to put that forward. Those cards are freaking amazing. So we have those. So, saying goodbye, have building the strength, and putting. So someone still backpacks their energy as an essence of love, which is like, that's holding a great deal of value, because when someone holds you sacred and close as a beloved, even as a page, you see that turtle again. It's like their back is turned only because, like, you're their safe point. And so they're like protectors, they're frontliners. And behind that is the 9 of Pentacles, also back turned. This is full on manifestation, super moon energy. I think that's a strawberry moon full moon coming up in, is it Sagittarius? But this is wonderful, because it's saying that we're safe, because not only are we loved, but we're also very abundant. Not just adequate. And here we go at the start, like the Sun card right there. So it's just kind of rest assured. It's okay. It's okay. It's not ultimate death. Why am I hearing flawless victory? I don't know. But what else? Is there anything else you have to say before I move into Bananagrams? Interesting. So, like, don't frown upon it. Like, don't, like, the best way to move is not just forward, but, like, there's so much here. There's so much that I have to me. Like, I wasn't supposed to get comfortable, and I made an effort not to get comfortable. But I knew today was the like landmark, or like the landmine, where it was like, psh, all of a sudden, like it just hit me. Like I didn't have to be one way or the other. I didn't have to like withdraw in order to maintain the kind of aloofness, the objectivity, the like not being too attached. That I could seek the gray area in the comfort level of still getting to know other people. That was like the highlight. Like, yeah, it was today. 2 of Cups on the bottom. That's harmony. Top of the deck. Oh, it's the Emperor. Oh, Emperor and the 7 of Swords. So it's making a steal for it. Like people at surface level in the storyline, if this were to play out as a movie, it's like stealing away in the night. Or it's like strangers in the night exchanging glances, something. But it's facing the Emperor. So we're cued to do this. We're called to still show up, like bringing the resources in, taking them from one place to another. I don't know. What is Spirit? What? Okay, you're crazy, Spirit. Okay. Oh, it came out with that again, but accentuated. Yeah, that's what they're saying. This is leading to greater bonds, greater connections, leading light that's healing energy. It's almost like playing patty cake, but without like so much. Like it's soft, it's slow, it's yeah. Like before you play patty cake with anybody, it's like the secret handshake of elementals is what I'm hearing, of elementary students. It's that sense of bonding before you play patty cake. Like, it's, yeah. Patty cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Put it in the oven. I forget what had. Okay, so, again, here we have the Page of Cups facing us, as well as the Strength card. So there's a huge showing of love, like coming in so strong that like I'm able to make like, who likes dental checkups? Who tell me? There's not many that like dental checkups, and to do that with the King of the Beast, it's like we've tamed many that are learning how to find strength and love again, that it's not a weakness. And so they allow us to do like this dental checkup on them because they know that it's like for their highest good. And sometimes it comes off as a game because that bond of touch and care is very much accentuated in this card, the context of it. We have the Sun card in here. Yeah, very much Leo energy. Yeah. That's interesting. Huh. And there's a bunch of wheat in the background, so that's definitely a huge degree of abundance. And this lion is prestigious. Like it's a key figure, a higher up, I would say, because the mane looks very combed rather than unwieldy. So we've tamed lions that are that have earned their place through civil means, like legit. So to gain the trust of such a being or such beings to do like this dental checkup, something that most loathe, it's like, but they know it has to be done and they don't mind it coming from us. That's strong. That's strong in its most domestic form. This is, I don't want to say domesticating a lion, but it's pulling something from like the concrete jungle, urban, atmospheres that are quite unforgiving, where you have to really show your like pull. And bringing them into an environment and showing that pull is kind of like a easygoing thing. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, last words. Page of Pentacles. That's good. So we're looking at, like, what are we going to invest in next? What's the next thing here? So it's not like just things coming at us that are magnetizing, but we can also work the angles. And I'm hearing dilated pupils. I have to write this stuff down. Okay, let me write that down. Okay, strangers in the night. I'm also getting Strange by K-Flay. And what did we say about this? Oh man, I forgot. Dude, I totally forgot, but that's okay. So like, what's next? It doesn't have to come, how do I say it? Work the angles, yeah. Okay, thank you. Work the angles. Okay. Yeah, I work the angles. Sharp and precise. Dilated pupils. You better think twice. Oh my gosh. So we're severely underestimated for sure. Especially at first glance. Interesting. That's crazy. Bottom of the deck is Queen of Wands in reverse. We received this like so many times recently in the past like 3 or 4 days. And it's an underground witch. Which is like the best because she knows the roots. Oh. So there's that. Okay, so it's like the root system. Like that's the base level from which the seed grows and manifests into maturity. It's often unseen, but when it becomes like super developed, it reaches its way to the top. Oh smack! Something's gonna happen for me. Okay. Yeah, King of Wands, with the back facing. Like there's someone that is hugely fond of us, but they can't make eye contact. Like they're not supposed to. I don't know what that is, but we're protected by them. Someone who is highly confident and very charming, in not just their ways and in their appeal, but also who they are. You know, charm only lasts for so long when it comes to like the pickup lines or the plays or whatever. What truly charms someone is that degree of integrity and like the rarity of like to capture someone's interest and hold it and know that there's a release, like that there's no like when like that the capture isn't a conquer. That's charming. That there's the ability to release, like the intention is to release whenever, you know, like so as not to hold them for so long that death occurs to the loved thing, the sacred thing. Oh, did you see that? It's the Lover's card facing that. Oh, and they're saying, and there you have it. Yeah, someone is highly fond of us. So we're not just attracting those type of individuals, but how we move about in life is also depicting this type of energy. That you don't have to like look at us in the eyes, that you don't have to like personally know us on a like face-to-face level in order to capture this. Like you can gauge it by like at a distance. Yeah, and so highly attractive. So these are masks that are meant to protect our true identity. Like, you know, like heroic figures, yeah? Interesting. Okay, so the top of the deck is Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so coming back with a lighter step. Okay. You know, when things like this, when changes occur, that can be like very, just catch you off guard. Like when you have a comeback to something, when you do a drop off, like you did the delivery, you did your job, you did your thing, and there's this like thing that catches you off guard, you don't come back and like stomp your way in. You're coming back with a lighter step. That's good. That's good. And it's not tiptoeing either. It's just well-tempered energy. Okay. So, next up here. Oopsie. Bananagrams time. And it is 7:42. We're doing well. We're doing better. Okay. So we have, first one came through as V. That came in like reversal. Or not reversal. It is in reversal, but it's also, it's pointing up too. It's erasing. It's smudging of that black cloud. And it hit the barcode. So there's a lot of meaning there. The second one that came through is T, also like back turn. So, and then we have E that came in like facing us and upright. So VTE, and then what else? So there's vet. I guess we should, these situations are not meant to vet ourselves. I guess it is kind of, but it's more of like, is it vetting the situation or vetting ourselves? I think it's vetting the situation. Like, what does it have to offer? Because that'll better define us, like how we go about. Okay, so we have R. Somebody might be named like Trev, like Trevor. Okay, so I have I, R, F, N, D, W, U, G, A, Z, S, T, Y, T, C, P, R, E, S, A. Okay. What a strange collection of letters here. I see Vince. Wait, yeah. I was going to say Vincent, but we have Vince here. I haven't seen Vince in a while. Randy. Yeah. Rain. Grain. Gains. Say. What is it? What say not? Something like that. Okay, so, scare, scrape. You know, like when they say like you got to dust that dirt off your shoulder, it's like you have to get back up, like even if you have like scraped knees. I remember one time, like in elementary school, a group of kids were playing. I think this was after school or something like that. We're playing kickball, and I'm not as social, but there, like I wasn't anybody's enemy either. I remember I fell down at one time and I scraped my knee, and it was all concrete. Okay, the surface that we played on, and I don't remember. Do you generally play kickball on concrete or on grass? I don't remember, but this one was on like gravel concrete, right? And so the scrape was like pretty bad. And that's, I think, the first time that I heard a scrape being referred to as a strawberry. I was like, why? And because the way it looks, right? And I was kind of limping, but I wasn't sad about it. I remember like dusting my knee off. I'm like, it doesn't hurt, but like it kind of weakened me. It just kind of compromised that area for, because of its, just, like the impact or something, and I remember this girl, who I think must have had like some kind of hard life or something, but I think I don't know. I don't think I blocked it out. I think I just kind of disregarded it because it wasn't true. Like, oh, are you going to cry about it? And I was like, no, I just need to rest for a second. And it jumps back to that Five of Pentacles card and the road being kind of unkind to you, especially when you're in the game and you just kick the ball. And I don't know. I remember, yeah, I can't really picture it, but I remember it like that. Because to go from point A to point B, like, how did I get there? I remember that. But I can't visualize it. I just remember seeing my knee and remembering, like, it kind of weakened it a little bit. And I was just dusting it off, and most of the people are asking if I was okay. And I was like, yeah, it's just, it's what it, like, it's like that. So, I don't know. I think that was the first fond memory of me getting a strawberry, basically. Because it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt me. And even the girls' words didn't hurt me. It was like cognition mode, where I was like, it wasn't like, that's weird. It was just, I was confused why she would be like that. And I didn't understand it. And it didn't hurt my feelings. I was just like, I just didn't understand it. Because I didn't conceive her to ever be like competitive. Like, that wasn't the mode of thought. I think that was just how she got used to experiencing life. So, like, I just, like, kind of never mind it. It was something that was really easy to shake off, because it wasn't, it's like, somebody, like, makes a paper plane and it sucks, so it never actually reaches you. So it just, like, kind of falls to the ground. That's the energy. But I just remembered it because it was so confusing for me that, like, when somebody gets hurt, why somebody would be so callous as to promote its value. Promote, the implications of it, of being like something so ugly. And I just remembered, like, I felt it wasn't, there's like a tingling sensation when that happens, when you have like a scuff on your knee. It was weird. Because I have never been in like formal sports ever. My parents, like, invested in things that were, I went to Catholic school, so it was that took up a lot. That was like college tuition, basically. So it was kind of exhilarating for me, because like that never happened to me before, where like I fell down and it didn't hurt. And the whole time I was raised like in non-group type of environments when it came to the team stuff, though I was always a team player when it came to like execution in professional realm. And I always took many for the team. But like that whole idea of like being hurt in something, like when you fall, that wasn't my experience within that real time, was just like kind of like mind-blowing for me. That was something, a memory that I'm fond of, I can say. Because I'm like, oh, I didn't get hurt. I'm like, I can see the aesthetics that, that something is scuffed, and I just didn't feel like that internally and externally, that there was like a tingling sensation, like my knee is alive. And so I thought that was really cool. Okay. So scrape. So it's kind of just it's that. Okay, so I'm gonna put that too. So I also have Serena. I have Irene. Riley. Tina. Trina. Diane, Diana, Suri, Sean, Rudy, yeah, Risa, Gina, Terry, Tara, Peter, Pete,